Greetings everybody and welcome to G4G on YouTube. Today, myself named Don is going to take you on a ride of the new characters in Marvel Strike Force, and we are going to compare them to some of their previous incarnations. So if you've been following along with Marvel Strike Force, they've got an explosion of spiders and one of my favorite characters to play in a Marvel game of all time, Magik. So first, let's go ahead and scroll all the way down to the ones I don't have. And we've got Jubilee, who's got an event coming up. I probably will not qualify for any more stuff for her. You need Pimtech. Although apparently Ghost is really the carry for Pimtech. People simply boost their Ghost to obscene levels, and then she kind of takes care of everything. This is not it. So let's see. 5-star there. 5-star there. And 5-star there. We'll see. I don't think I'll unlock Jubilee on the next rotation. But, alright, let's go back and do Locked. So still don't have anything on Adam Warlock or Doom. Omega Red's got some progress. Nothing on Dormammu. Dormammu Ding Dong. So we've got Ghost Spider, Scarlet Spider, Spider-Punk, and Star-Lord T'Challa. So Star-Lord T'Challa and Spider-Punk, you're not going to see us do any footage on, as they do not have iterations in other games. Now, obviously, Star-Lord does, but this is a little bit different. So, taking a look at him, Element Blast, attacking the primary target for damage, chance for bonus damage, offense up. Pretty standard the whole way through, nothing fancy, doesn't really scream, give me an orange over there. Gravity Repulsors, attack the primary target, chance to apply blind. Always apply blind if the primary target has blind, steal an ability energy from the target. That's really interesting. It's the first time we've seen that. Defense down, or offense if Yondu is an ally, apply defense down to all allies. If the target already has blind, steal 2 ability energy. That one's pretty good. I kind of like that one as orange material. The ability to weaken somebody's progression like that, I think, is really interesting. I like it. So he comes in as Hero, Cosmic Tech Blaster, and Ravager. Ravager Rocket. Copy a positive effect except for Safeguard, Taunt, and Regeneration from adjacent allies. Regeneration, that kind of sucks. I don't know why they would take that away. I would like that one. Here at 3, we have a increase to the duration of effects on himself and Ravager allies. Damage goes up. Copy 3 positive effects. Copy all positive effects from adjacent allies. Pretty orange-worthy there, although I think I would go Gravity Repulsor first, Ravager Rocket second. And then Rousing Ravager, gain evade, gain damage on non-summon enemy death, fill the speed bar. Pretty similar, actually, to his Black Panther iteration. In a war, Ravager allies gain damage and health, war offense, and war offense. So if I were to sort my little roster here with Ravagers, there is definitely going to be a huge gap. As Yondu was in the spot that Hawkeye is now, Yondu is a character that I pushed in my main line for a long time because of his ability to steal positive effects there. Give himself the speed up and everything on that one. This big AoE, which I always really like because of its piercing. And now he gains extra focus for Ravager allies, and then Centauri Hunter. Copy the positive effects, excluding taunt, to self from each enemy. And now he boosts Ravager. So, big gap between him and the rest of the Ravagers over here. I've heard the Ravagers are getting some reworks. Like, you're going to have your tank, you're going to have your healer, DPS, AoE DPS, and then a couple single targets in there. So going down and taking a look at the ones that are locked. We can look at the spiders. So we have Ghost Spider, which is really Gwen. Gwen Stacy. Probably likely behind that static has a good butt. Gwen Stacy is always portrayed as having a high good butt in most of the games. LITHE Spider, steal and evade from the primary target, and then get a chance to gain their own evade. Always gain an evade, and in a raid if Spider-Man Miles is an ally, and if the primary target has slow, apply blind. Seems a little convoluted on that one. That one might be a little bit tough. She comes in as Hero City Biocontroller, Spider-Verse, Web Warrior, and Rebel, so there's some things there we don't see too much of. Spider-Verse is not surprising. Graceful Web, attack the primary target for damage. On crit, apply an ability block. Chain up to 3 adjacent targets. Apply slow to each target. So I'm thinking she is going to wind up... It's funny, it's not listed there, but it's there. That's interesting. She is going to be a raider, most likely. I just find it interesting that it's not actually here, but you can click it. Web Snare, attacking enemies, spreading negative effects. Spread 3 negative effects from the primary to all secondary. I like this one. I always like debuff spreads and everything like that. So I would say maybe that would be a first orange going into Graceful Web. Percussive Punishment, because she was a drummer in her band. When ally Spider-Man Miles drops below 50%, apply stealth to them. And eventually dodge chance of damage. So I would probably go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then Lie Spider as the final one for Orange Worthy over there. Scarlet Spider, still Spider-Verse, Web Warrior, and now Resolute and Rebel. I think this guy is Kane, if I remember correctly. That goes by... Oh, Ben Reilly, yeah. Scarlet Devastation, attack the primary target, apply defense down, chaining, and applying defense down. In raids, if regular Spider-Man is an ally, apply offense down and slow to each. And then finally, at the final level, just a damage boost. Again, not particularly orange-worthy. Web Impact, attack the primary target for damage. Prolong the duration of random negative effects, except for ability block, stun, and trauma. Stun, okay. I think ability block would be cool if you could extend it. And then here, at the final level, prolong the duration of 3 random negative effects. Really like that. Seems orange-worthy. Damage on attacks after applying a slow. And in raids, clearing positive effects. Just to boost the damage, so I would say Web Impact is the most orange-worthy so far. And then no responsibility. On turn, apply an evade to a random non-summon Web Warrior. Or self that does not have evade. In raids, always apply evade to 2 random non-summon Web Warriors. Oh, more stuff there. Dodge chance, crit chance. So maybe another Ravager there. This character on spawn, if this character has 4 more web allies. Yeah. This is pretty orange-worthy too. Although at the last level, it peters out a little bit. So I would say Web Impact number 1, no responsibility number 2. And then after that, Scarlet Devastation and Clone would be equal. I don't think there's too much of a reason to give him an extra attack over there. Coming from something like Striker, I think Raider's going to be another good one. And my god, the wind over here is crazy today. But it's nice because it's warm. It's like 68 degrees today. Finally, we have Spider-Punk, who we've never really seen in a game before, although maybe there was this skin in Marvel Heroes. I'd have to check it out. Guitar Solo. Attack the primary target. If there's any Web Warrior friends, bonus attack. This one might actually be good for a... for the Striker. Mosh Pit. Attack the primary target for damage and then chain. Deal additional damage per web warrior, but only in raids. It'd be nice if that one didn't specify just raids. Chaining up to 4 targets, chain to 5. Maybe a little bit orange worthy over there. That one might be the first one that would be orange worthy in his kit. Attack all enemies for damage. Apply heal block in raids. If you've got Spider Gwen, apply trauma. Yeah, I'm thinking Mosh Pit's the first orange worthy for him. Gain dodge chance in raids. Oh, gain crit chance. Interesting. Somebody in the kit is going to have to apply the vulnerable. I can't have everybody playing skirmishers and raiders and everything. Maybe make this orange worthy too if you've got raiders on a bunch, considering he boosts their crit. Could be interesting. So there is the spiders, and now let's go over to X-Men and take a look at one of my favorite characters to play in Marvel games, Magik. So she comes with her basic skin that is used very, very commonly where you see Magik. She's also going to be showing up in Marvel Future Revolution. And, of course, she was in the New Mutants movie, which didn't seem to do particularly well, although we still want to watch it. I haven't yet, but I definitely want to. I think I maybe even started. I'm not too sure why I finished, or why I didn't finish. And I got to find where it's streaming. But, so this is a very, very classic look for her. She's Hero Cosmic Mutant Support, Uncanny X-Man, Resolute, and she is just an X-Man, as you can see by the fact that she shows up under that. If we were to look at Uncanny X-Men, this gets a little interesting because the roster is pretty big, so now you can start doing some mix and match, except for the fact that we know Wolverine has gone over to Weapon X, so knock him out, and you are still left with quite a bit of X-Men over here. So it's going to be interesting to see where she fits in. SOULSWORD Strike, attacking the primary and adjacent targets for damage, plus piercing, plus clearing random positive effects. And then at the orange level, we have additional damage from piercing. Level 6, clearing 2 random positive effects. So this one is pretty good to take her maybe towards a striker route. Multiply doing this and clearing multiple positive effects on each attack could be really good. We have Demonic Might, which is attack all enemies for piercing and flip immunity. Reduce the speed bar of the primary target. Apply 5 charged up to a maximum of 20 to self and all chargeable Uncanny X-Men. So maybe that really defines on who she's going to be with. Piercing, apply 10 charged, and then that's your orange. So that's pretty orange worthy right there. Limbo Strike, barrier yourself and 2 random X-Men allies for 20% of this character's max health. Clear disrupted from self and X-Men allies. Attack the primary target and drain. And then finally at the orange level, 100% to damage, barrier all X-Men, clear ability block from self and all X-Men allies. Pretty orange worthy on that one too. And then Dark Child, which we will see the name, the spelling of this gets changed around a lot. On spawn, barrier yourself and all X-Men allies for 30% of your health. When any enemy attacks an X-Men ally, gain charged up to a maximum of 20. If it's Colossus or Kitty Pryde, I do remember that, kind of hinting at who she should be with. Instead, gain 3 charged up to a maximum of 20. At the end of any enemy turn, if this character is 20 or more charged, attack the enemy with the highest damage, and then lose all charge. On turn, if an ally Phoenix has died, and Dark Phoenix is currently not an ally. Wow, summon the Dark Phoenix. What a convoluted ability. And finally, at the highest level, a bunch of damage increase, more armor, and your Uncanny X-Men game armor. And then that's who she summons. So, clearly, we know that she's got Colossus on her side there because it's her brother. We've got Kitty Pryde, who has always been a friend, who is not an Uncanny X-Man. I always thought that was a little weird in her kit to include Kitty Pryde, but Kitty Pryde's not an Uncanny X-Man. So we've got Colossus and Phoenix and Kitty Pryde as three people that she's got some pretty good synergy with. So, maybe Storm to get some of those assists in there. So, real interesting character in terms of her kit and who she goes with. So, maybe Storm, Kitty Pryde, Phoenix, and Colossus. Don't know about Jubilee on that one. So I do have some orbs that I want to offload over here, and then we can see what Magik has looked like in other games. I think it is mostly my... Yeah, I know where I've got to go. The big ones here. Yep, so we've got an Elite 4-star and Elite 5-star. Let's see what we get out of these two. It's always a crushing disappointment. So for my 4-star, Heimdall. And, of course, it would be a duplicate, so right back into the pile. And here we go with an Elite 5-star. And I'm actually getting really, really close to an Elite 6. Wow. This could be interesting. Alright, keep your fingers crossed. Elite 5-star, and we get... Ooh, a 6-star Black Bolt. Up 2 stars for Black Bolt. That one is good. Yeah. That one is definitely a good pull. My Inhumans aren't super strong, but Black Bolt definitely has a spot in this game. And I think that bumped me into an Elite 6. Oh, God. Alright. Alright, team, let's do it. Elite Star 6 opening. First one ever. Let's see what we get. Fingers crossed. Oh, God, you gotta be kidding me. Are you serious? Jesus Christ. God damn. Well, he went up 2 stars, but yay, aim monstrosity. Woo, boy. The big punchy dude from the aim. I mean, I've always kind of liked aim monstrosity. To be honest, he's just a very, very simple kit. He's just fun. But woo. So, yeah, my aim team is actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't use aim security much, although I should, because he's a pretty good tank for the, or she is a pretty good tank for the aim team. And my Scientist Supreme is too far ahead of the rest of the aim team. So I use Monstrosity, Infector, Researcher, Graviton, and Assaulter. I do believe the correct team drops 2 of the ones that I have and puts in Security and Scientist Supreme. I think it's the Researcher because you get the healing from Scientist. And then I'm not too sure who else you drop. So on the way out of this game, I'm going to just take a quick look at my Inhumans because of what happened with Black Bolt. Pretty solid unless I have to include Yo-Yo. It's okay. Crystal definitely has to come up. Miss Marvel's right there in it. Sometimes she leaves and Yo-Yo goes in. But at least, you know, the top row's not too bad. Quake was a early character that I used to power up. and don't really use that much anymore. So let's take a look at Magik in Marvel Avengers Alliance, and we do have Spider-Gwen over here. So here's Magik. She had her original suit, which was my favorite, and they had announced the new mutant skin for a long time before they actually dropped it. If I remember correctly, they dropped this one, and they dropped Rogue's modern Rogue kit just out of nowhere. We had heard rumors that these skins were done for a long time, like a year. And then I think in the middle of a content drought, Playdon was like, guys, the peasants are getting restless. What do we do? And they were just like, get the skins. Pull the skins out of the closet. Just give them the Magik skin. Give them the Rogue skin. That'll shut them up for a bit. So Magik came in as a scrapper, which meant she got 2 attacks off of infiltrators, or 2 attacks when she got 15. And then her new uniform gave her a blaster and an infiltrator. If we were to look on the wiki, decent health, decent stamina, really good attack and defense, okay accuracy, low evasion, which meant if you built her with the PKB method, you were going into attack, defense, and accuracy, and you were trashing evasion. Her passives were Fiery Retribution. For the Phoenix 5 buff, allies have a chance to unleash the Phoenix power each turn, dealing additional fire damage to enemies when attacking or are attacked. And Ruler of Limbo, chance when attacking to summon eye bites. The uniform gave her Ruler of Limbo, which is the eye bites, and then it gave her Stepping Disc, which was a chance to teleport all allies away, evading incoming area attacks, and can avoid catastrophic attacks. Now, I think if you paired that up with Scarlet Witch's reality hacking, you had a pretty tough team to hit. She was a new mutant, a Phoenix 5, and an X-Man. SOULSWORD was Ethereal Strike, which means it could hit phased people. Bane, which increases the damage from magic attacks and effects. Stepping Razor was the buff she got, which was a chance to avoid one attack and then counterattack with Stepping Disc, which was down here. And Soul Charge increases Magik's chances to summon eye bites and unlock the potential of Magik's abilities. Can be applied 2 times. So, because she was a scrapper in this one, you could lead with Stepping Disc and then get the follow-up off of Soul Sword. Or do 2 Soul Swords to get your maximum soul charges. She had Unleash Hell, which was the good AoE. It was catastrophic. All enemies got Death Frost, which was a kind of chilled-based debuff, where they take damage, they lose stamina, and their evasion goes down, but they also count as chilled. It consumes a soul charge to cause soul fire, which also goes along with the Death Frost. That's pretty good, but they don't fight each other because it's not fire and chilled, it's just soul fire. And then it consumes 2 charges to give soul fire and Dark Void. Dark Void takes more magic damage and again reduces accuracy. Soul Flare was a pretty heavy hitting single target that ignored defense. It was a Paragon Exploiter if it consumed a soul charge, which was Paragon debuffs or pressure points. And then it would, at 2 charges, exploit attrition. So if you had somebody that was a caster on your team, like Doctor Strange, just hit somebody once with Soul Sword and get the Scrapper follow-up, and then you can Soul Flare them for massive damage and melt armor. Stepping Disc was her teleportation ability that did Ethereal Strike, guaranteed hit, it was stealthy, and there was your pressure points. So, if you wanted to slow the charge of Soul Sword, you could do Stepping Disc on an enemy, which would give you pressure points for Soul Flare. And then you could get 1 charge off of the follow-up Soul Sword but then you would lose the exploit attrition, but you would gain the Paragon Exploiter. You had options. She was definitely a little bit of a thinking man's character on what did you want to go for, Soul Charge or debuffs. She had the Bloodshot, Empowered ISO 8, which did Evil Eye. Eye Bites now apply Breakdown, which was random dot-based debuffs, so that goes for her Exploit Attrition. That's really handy. And then Charged Augmented ISO 8 adds 1 additional Soul Charge to Soul Sword. So, once you get this one, you don't have to think anymore with Magik. She was just on autopilot. Hit somebody with the Stepping Disc, gives them the pressure points, follow up with the Soul Sword, which now does 2 charges, and then the next round, Soul Flare them. Very, very fun character. I honestly like the look of the original Scrapper uniform more than the New Mutants one, and the way that her kit goes, I think she is better as a Scrapper than a Infiltrator or a Blaster. If you had to use the new uniform, I would say the Infiltrator is better because you could use her counterattacks to do Soul Sword and apply some debuffs for free. In Marvel Heroes, she had the basic uniform, which is Marvel Now. We see this one a lot. We see the modern costume. We saw Phoenix Force. New Mutant variant, which just really kind of replaced the metallic leg and changed the arm a little bit. Kind of reined in that shoulder pad a little bit, but mostly it had fixed the arm. Sword is pretty much the same, and then she had this Apocalypse event exclusive, which was I've never seen Magik look like that. It's pretty badass, admittedly. And if we can take her into some combat over here. Magik was one of those characters that I absolutely loved using her in combat. I loved a lot of the sword characters in this game. Sif was one of them. She had great gams, but she had some fun sword attacks. But Magik was absolutely one of my favorite sword characters in the entire game. And this would actually be a good team up if debuffs were working in Beta 2 over here, because Nico can apply a lot of dot-based debuffs with her bleeds, and also, of course, the magic debuffs. Devour is pretty good for Magik, because it would do bleeds, and if I could activate her Scrapper bonus, I could Stepping Disc one of these guys and then follow up with Soul Sword. Oh, the memories of that sound. Absolutely loved Magik's sounds and her abilities. Let's do one more so that we could just see some of her other abilities over here. Pass. Yeah, passing breaks things. No, not going to pass, because things don't work particularly well when you pass. Alright, so there's Unleash Hell, which was the AoE. Let's see if I can not kill them. Okay, good. Yeah, there we go. Soul Flare. Now, there was a beam that was supposed to come out there, but it doesn't. And over here in Marvel Future Fight... Oh, we didn't do Gwen Stacy in Marvel Avengers Alliance, but that's okay. Here's Magik. She comes in the modern uniform, and she has the Phoenix 5, so pretty typical there. She is pretty good in this game. I do like her in this game. I think she comes in as a... Yeah, she's Blast. Pretty decent AoE. A little bit of a smaller AoE. So her 2 is burn damage, stun, and a bind. Her 1 is just regular straight attack. Burn damage and summoning an illusion, which is something that you saw in Marvel Heroes. She ran around with demons And they actually did things similar to this. This is fairly close to what she did in Marvel Heroes. She was one of my favorite characters in Marvel Heroes. I don't know if she was my first 60. She might have been. And then this one is, of course, Mystical Armor. This is basically her Dark Child. Really, really badass. Fucking loves it. It's got sort of a Hellboy vibe to it there. But that's just cool. That is just really, really badass on that one. So she is fun, and she holds her own in Future Fight. And if we search for the spiders, we will see that we do have Scarlet Spider in Future Fight. Always kind of found this suit particularly bland, like very, very homemade. So it never really resonated with me that much. Apply to allies with Spider Sense. So basic damage up to heroes and supervillains. He's got a web. Counterattacks when defending against the enemy attack for this one with stun and a silence. Dodge rate is up. Guarding against 3 hits. It's a fairly solid kit. Spider Mine Detonation and Scarlet Explosion. A little bit of burn damage in him. Not too much. The tip is that Spider Mine Detonation and Scarlet Explosion continue to attack. Even combined with other skills. Instinctive Blow attempts to counterattack when the opponent is attacking. So you could probably go maybe 3, 4, 5 in his kit, and then into your 1 and 2. Spider-Gwen's got a bunch of uniforms. She started off as all new, all different, which is almost always how she's represented. I mean, this looks exactly like the Strike Force character, almost to a T. I almost thought I almost thought the game switch actually happened there, and that we were looking at a nearly identical uniform. So, other than the backpack, I mean, that's pretty much it. She's got some purple there for the webbing. Here, yeah, pretty much the exact same thing. Nearly the exact same character, including high butt. Gwendolyn Stacy, which is pretty much the same thing, just with the mask off and the hood down. And then you have Gwenum, which you rarely ever see. Changes the body a little bit. Sort of puts everything higher up. And I do believe, if I remember correctly, the Gwenum uniform makes her somewhat okay in Future Fight. Can't say that I've really ever used her, but I do believe that with this uniform, she's actually fairly decent. Oh, that is, admittedly, that is badass. This move, Web of Horror, is pretty cool. It's a little on the disturbing side, and actually so is Spider Domination. Wow. I wonder if you can combine these two. If you get a chain, wait until she's up. Yes, that is a really good combo. And then her 6 is the one that summons a bunch of the other spider ladies. It's pretty good too. If I remember correctly, Silk is considered the best spinner of all the spiders. If I remember my lore correctly, that she actually can outspin Spider-Man, and I think is the best web spinner of them all. Let's bring him back. So there we go. No Spider-Punk over here, no Spider-Man Noir over here, despite the fact that he was Into the Spider-Verse. We do have Scarlet Spider and Spider-Gwen. I don't know if Marvel Heroes had Spider-Punk. I want to believe that they did. Let's find out. Spider-Man had a ton of uniforms in this game. Modern, sensational, classic, Future Foundation, Symbiote, Scarlet Spider, so all unsurprising ones so far. Big Time Red and Green. Cool. I think that's even in the PlayStation 5 Marvel Avengers where you get Spider-Man. I did always like these two. I thought it was cool. There's Noir. A little bit different than Marvel Avengers Alliance. Ends of the Earth. Rarely ever see this one. Enhanced Superior. Big Time Blue. Back in Black. Future Foundation Black. Amazing. Spider-Girl, which Marvel Avengers Alliance had. Battle Damaged. Spider-Gwen, even though it's a completely separate character. Civil War movie. Oh, I didn't... Wow. I didn't know they did that. Enhanced Iron Spider. Homecoming. Wow. Another one that I didn't know they put into the game before it died. 2 Homecoming ones from... Hood Up, the variant. I thought there was a Spider-Punk somewhere. But clearly it was not Marvel Heroes. And that's pretty much it. So we've taken a look at Magik, and we've taken a look at the new spiders across several of the Marvel games. She is coming to Future Fight. I get her wherever I can. As you can see, I do have her already in Strike Force. Magik is just usually a very, very fun character. And it seems like that will continue here in Strike Force. And in Marvel Avengers Alliance, I always absolutely loved Magik pretty much the entire time that she was there. I don't... Yeah, Spider-Gwen. Spider-Gwen was okay. Never really used her. Never found much use for her. Was not a strong character, I think. You know, other than playing her to level, I don't know that I really feel that she had somewhere to be, unless you were maybe trying to build a spider team to increase your speed of doing webbed. But her and that other one, Anna Corazon or something, she was the bruiser of the bunch. Here she is. Spider-Girl. Really didn't like Spider-Girl either. Yeah, Anya Corazon. Yeah, I was right on the name. Same universe as Superior Spider-Man. I never really thought she was particularly that great either. But I'm definitely very, very pleased to see Magik popping up in a lot of games lately. So, let me know what you guys think. Where do you think each one of their characters was probably the most powerful? I would say Marvel Avengers Alliance is where Magik wins hands down. I haven't played her that much yet in Strike Force, but I think it's really going to be hard to see her stronger than she was in Marvel Avengers Alliance. Marvel Heroes, I would say, is a good second place in that she had a really, really good kit in this game. It's no, Tara Strong. Wow, that is a phenomenal voice actress who voiced her. I don't know where. Yeah, I'd have to dig a little bit further to find her kit. But she walked around with summons too, and I think she could turn into Darkchild in that game too. Spider-Gwen, I mean, she was nowhere in Marvel Avengers Alliance. She may have a chance of getting really, really high up there here in Strike Force. Even in Future Fight, I don't think she's that much to write home about. But potentially, you know, a reworked Spider-Verse team in this game. I mean, this roster is really, really huge, but I'm sure it's not really going to include the Spider Symbiote. So the top row is going to be out. Probably Spider-Man, Miles, so that's 2 of them. And then Ghost Spider-Scope. Yeah, Spider-Man's maybe going to get some love. But Miles also tends to go with Young Avengers. But Young Avengers is kind of a nowhere meta right now. I mean, when do you see Squirrel Girl doing anything big? So, thanks for checking out the video, folks. No real news on Beta 4 from Marvel Avengers Alliance Redux yet. I have asked Goofy about it. He has provided a answer, but it's not one I'm really going to share right now. Suffice to say, he's trying to get some time together to work on it. If you remember, around Christmas last year, or actually 2 years ago, he was underground for a little bit and didn't come up for air until later into January. So he's probably head down for a little bit, dealing with holiday stuff with his family and everything. But he's alive. We have talked, and he is still continuing to work on Beta 4. Just no real update on it so far. So, let me know what you guys think. What's your favorite character from the video, and where do you think each one of these characters has been their strongest? Which game? Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a good one.